Hey, you're finally awake.
Welcome back to the channel, my friends. My name is ESO, and today we are starting the Elder Scrolls Online Greymoor Dark Hearts of Skyrim, which takes us back to the lands of Skyrim, and it has been lovingly recreated. Now, for this episode, we're going to be creating a completely new character, and if you're new to the game, you can follow along, and I'll be teaching you lots of stuff as we go, as well as playing through the main story. But now, let's roll the introduction. No way.
Hey, you're finally awake. We just crossed the border. I've heard strange things have been happening since I was away. Even so, it's good to be back home. Back in Skyrim.
Oh my god, I can't believe they did the Skyrim reference. There's going to be so many references in this. That makes me so happy. We already did a comparison video on Solitude versus the one in Skyrim. It was impressively recreated. Oh, Labyrinthian. Mate, recognize everything.
It's always something.
Oh god. Oh, that escalated quickly. Oh, just got wrecked.
These two. Take them to the barrel.
That northern accent. Whoa. Those intros are insane. That was so good. Alright, let's create a new character. And by the way, guys, if you like what you see in this playthrough, make sure you subscribe and press the bell notification to stay up to date with each episode that releases. And if you guys really like what you see, you can also buy Greymoor for yourself, which comes with the original game as well, from the link down below in the description. That takes you to Green Man Gaming, and that's a great place to also support developers who are making the games and not buy it from a dodgy website instead. So let's begin making our character. Now, personally, I want to play through this as a sorcerer. So the best race for a sorcerer is going to be a high elf, unfortunately. You can also have a look at what they look like in their elite gear as well. But we're going to have no gear, just so we can actually customize their appearance a little bit better. Now, high elves are really good for PvP and PvE. The second best option if you don't want to play a high elf is a Breton. Now, Bretons as sorcerers have really good magicka sustain, so they can keep up their resources a lot better than a high elf who will be doing slightly more damage. Now, if you're looking to play a Nightblade or a stamina based damage class, a really good option is the Orc. He's the current best person to play right now. He does the most damage and also has good stamina resource regeneration. Alternatively, the Wood Elf is your next best option, closely followed by the Red Guard. If you're wanting to play a tank at endgame, personally I use an Argonian because they have increased incoming healing. But another good option is a Nord because they have a massive bolster to their health as well. And I think reduction to incoming damage. So that's kind of like the basis of what the best class is to play in the current meta if you're like really serious about the game. So I'm going to play a High Elf Sorcerer in the Daggerfall Covenant because that's the covenant that I am in. If you guys want to join my guild, I'll leave it down below in the description for you. What are we going to call our character though? Now, we're not playing this character as a healer, but I thought Jesus Take the Hill would be pretty funny, because that song's always... How can you not? Okay, so class, we're going to be playing as a sorcerer, which gives me slightly bigger nipples. And then I'm going to be the most muscular, ripped sorcerer. Now, that looks weird, doesn't it? Super skinny, no, super fat sorcerer. I really love these sleeves. Big fan of these metallic sleeves. I want to make him really pale. That's pretty pale. That's too pale. He's going to have freakishly big hands, obviously. Oh, yes. God damn. Look at that. Obviously, I've got to be super tall because I'm a high elf. And also, I am 6'5" in real life. Obviously, we're going to have white hair that looks like this because that looks pretty sick. Oh, yeah. He's going to be super old. It's a wrinkly old man. Now, usually all my characters have beards, but this just looks too good not to have. Bit of eyeshadow. Love it. Oh, beautiful. He's got to have a scar from, you know, when he became a vampire. Man, those eyebrows look terrible. Oh, uneven eyebrows. Fantastic. We need that. Oh, this is the best thing. You can make him sad elf. Happy elf. Oh, I love that grimace. He needs to just be really pissed with everything. It's like a bat. Oh, yes. There he is, complete in his majestic glory. Skip the tutorial? No, we need to play the tutorial, my friend. Invalid character name. Why? Name is already in use. Jesus with a Z. Yes! Yes! Deepwood Vale. Nords, they have such an innate fear of desolate and abandoned places like Deepwood Vale that the Ice Reach Coven has little trouble hiding in plain sight. For that reason, they've already lost this war.
Is someone out there? I could use your assistance. I'm quite trapped in here.
Search the sarcophagus. It looks like we're in a prison. A Nordic prison that I've been sleeping in for some reason. I assume we were captured by these cultists and taken prisoner for some kind of ritual. Seems to be a few prisoners around here, though I might be the last one left. Me and this guy hiding in a sarcophagus. Oh, goodness.
My thanks. Hear me out if you want to escape this place. You were on the cart. I saw you before those witches caught us and tossed me in this stone box. Glad you're finally awake. Apologies for my ghastly appearance. I'm not feeling my best.
He is definitely a vampire now. Where are we, anyway?
Our precise location, I can only speculate. Somewhere in western Skyrim, I suppose. I was involved in my own investigation when the Ice Reach Coven witch attacked. We can escape, but I desperately need your help first.
Help with what?
The witches must have stashed my belongings nearby. Among them is a small flask. I can open the cell door. Once I do, I need you to retrieve that flask for me. I'll be too weak. And until I have it, you're in significant danger.
What do you mean?
I swear, I intend you no harm. If I don't get that flask back, however, my intentions won't matter. Retrieve it, and we'll break out of here together.
Alright, open the door and I'll get your flask. Gotta be sneaky.
Don't be afraid. This may be jarring, but it's a necessary part of the plan.
Oh! 100% knows he's a vampire as well.
Please, hurry and retrieve my flask.
No worries, brother. Luckily there are no enemies around here. We seem to be rather safe. I assume it's a flask of blood. Pick that up. Filled with a viscous crimson fluid. Yes, definitely blood. Alright, let's go and give our new vampire friend his blood back.
Did you find it? Give it to me.
Look at him, he's so desperate.
Yes, that's better. Thank you. I could feel my control slipping away. Yes, that was blood. But I swear there's no cause for alarm. Not every vampire is a monster. I'm part of a group that only drinks from willing donors. We regulate the actions of less scrupulous vampires.
What is this group you belong to?
I belong to House Ravenwatch, one of the noble houses of Rivenspire. We adhere to the teachings of our founder, Count Verandis Ravenwatch. We take no blood by force. We help those in need, and we curtail the actions of more hostile vampires.
You can go to Rivenspire in the base game. It's actually a really cool location. One of my favorites, in fact. Western Skyrim is a long way from there, though.
We go where we're needed. I was investigating a burial site in Bankurai when I discovered smugglers stealing ancient remains. I followed the trail, ran into the witch, and... well, you know the rest. Now, we need to get out of here.
Have you got a plan?
Sort of. I regained enough of my senses when they carried me in here to remember the way out. It's pretty straightforward. I'll guide the way if you defend us from anyone who blocks our path. If we work together, I'm certain we can escape.
Alright then, lead the way.
Follow closely. You never know what's wandering around in these old barrows.
We definitely need a weapon though. So far I can't see any presenting themselves, so hopefully we can find an armory.
I wonder why the witches are storing all these things. See if you can find a weapon. I'll grab something more suited to my skills.
Very well. Okay, there's actually some armor around here. So let's pick up all the armor we find first. There's even some shields, some gauntlets. This is very important at the start of the game to grab all this stuff. Because the way the armor system works in the Elder Scrolls Online is even if you're playing a mage character, you're still going to want to level up your heavy armor and medium armor skills in case you change your character later. So let's say, for example, so what I recommend doing is if you're playing a mage or a magicka based class like me, I'm going to be wearing light armor. However, in the end game, you're still going to be sometimes wearing medium armor and one piece of heavy armor just for the physical damage resistance. So what I recommend doing is equipping at least one piece of heavy armor, like an Iron Cuirass, which takes up one slot obviously. However, it gives us the maximum amount of damage resistance for that slot. So if you're going to wear one piece of heavy armor, make sure it's your chest. So now we're fully equipped with our armor. Wonder if there's a helmet around here as well actually. And make sure you also run around and loot all of these sacks and bags and stuff, because some of the things you find are going to be like recipes which you can then learn and slowly, you know, sort of advance your character in many ways, and also get ingredients for crafting. So now we're pretty much equipped with a full armor set apart from our belt, and we're wearing medium armor, heavy armor and light armor, which means we can level up all our skill lines at once. So now let's grab this greatsword, which is the only weapon in the room, and let's go ahead and equip it.
That looks dangerous enough. Now come on, this way.
What I also need to do is turn on the NPC subtitles. Let's follow our friend.
What are you two doing out? Ergala still has need of you.
That's the brute who threw us in our cell. We have to get past him.
Easy, mate, no worries. So this is essentially just a combat tutorial about how combat works.
I'll put you two milk drinkers back in your cage.
The only way out is through him. I'll support you from back. Strike him with a light attack.
So really simple, light attacks do damage, and then it's going to show us what happens if he does a power attack. So it shows you that if you block the power attack, he gets knocked off balance, and if you power attack him back, you can hit him on the floor, and that's going to increase the damage you do to him and lots of other things. So these are really basic mechanics, but they're super important to learn for late game. A lot of people seem to forget them while they're leveling up, but in the late game and soloing veteran dungeons and stuff, it's actually really important. So try and pay attention to these things, like breaking free from things like so.
Break free, my friend. Another heavy attack.
And then this is a heavy attack, but we can interrupt this, which also throws him off balance, which then means you don't need to block the damage from it. So it's always good to interrupt those attacks when you can.
Interrupt that strike.
Like so.
Time to end this.
The smell of blood is overwhelming. We should move on.
And there we go, we've leveled up now to level 2, and we can claim our rewards. So we get 1 attribute and 1 skill point. Now the way the meta of the game works is you either play a magicka based class or a stamina based class unless you're tanking. So essentially, I'm a sorcerer, I'm going to be playing a magicka based build, so all of my points are going to be invested into magicka. I'm not going to put any points in health or stamina at all. This basically allows me to do the maximum amount of damage in the late game. Now you can respec your character later, so don't worry if you get this wrong for some reason, but it kind of just saves you money and time later on if you just do this, and you'll be doing even more damage. You don't need to invest any points in health. Usually in the end game you just eat food or you buff or enchant your armor, and that gives you the needed amount of health for the late game. Now if you're playing a tank, you would usually put all of your points into health pretty much. However, when you're leveling, you want to be doing damage so you can actually level up. If you have all your points in health, you'll do no damage. So prioritize damage and then respec your character once you get to the max level in the game, and do that stuff later. But for now, just enjoy it. Let's put our 1 point in magicka and then take a look at our skill line. So each class in the game, Nightblade, Sorcerer, Warden, Templar and so on, all have 3 skill lines exclusive to that class. So what you're going to want to do is put 1 skill point in each one of these skill lines so you can level them all up at the same time. Because we just want to level up all our skills, including our armor skills at the start of the game, so we can, get to end game as soon as possible, ideally. So what I recommend doing if you're playing a sorcerer is get the Daedric summoning ability, which is going to do some extra damage and also tank for you. And I'm going to put this on number 5. So now I can summon my Daedric pet, my Scampy boy, and he's going to follow along with me. As you can see, he does his own attacks and damage, and he also has a special ability which we can activate that does even more damage to our enemies. So essentially we're a little gang of buddies now. Let's carry on to the next room.
More weapons. Grab anything you think might be useful.
Oh, okay, so we've actually got some weapons. Oh, fantastic. So there's an Inferno Staff here, a few Inferno Staffs and different things. So what we need is essentially the Inferno Staff. So now we can go ahead and equip this to our character, and we can actually start being a mage, as you can see. Hell yes. I wonder if we can find... There's also some more armor pieces here, so I'm going to pick those up as well. Now it's still good to keep all these bits of armor because you can deconstruct them for materials later, which I will talk about at some point, and we've got another recipe to learn there. Right, so now I've got a new weapon. Let's carry on, my friends, to Deepwood Cavern. I was about to say how well this tutorial has been done so far. I'm really impressed with it. There's some more stuff we can loot out of this backpack, just getting some general ingredients for crafting later.
Giant frostbite spider. Kill it, my friend!
Oh my goodness me, that looks bloody terrifying, doesn't it? Alright, let's start off with a power attack and then just yeet it with some light attacks here. Now I have got a bunch of add-ons that are making these things appear on the screen, which I'm going to remove because they are rather annoying. But every time you make a new character, you have to reset up your add-ons. So sorry about all the text you're seeing on the screen right now. I will get rid of that shortly. As you can see, our scamp is doing damage, and I'm just kiting this disgusting creature around the room. There's nothing he can do.
You go first.
Oh really, you want me to go first after we saw this giant spider? I saved your life there, didn't I, my friend? There's some more weapons here as well. Let's pick up this Inferno Staff. Sometimes when you pick up these weapons, they might be enchanted, so it's always good just to grab them anyway. So as you can see, our Daedric summoning has increased to level 2 already. And we've also unlocked the Destruction Staff tree. So we're just starting to level up all our skills, essentially. Alright, so for now I'm just going to turn all my add-ons off so we have the pure vanilla gameplay. There we go. Now let's go into the next room. Deepwood Redoubt. Oh my god, so this is actually the dungeon from Skyrim. I even recognize it from that bridge going across the middle there. The entrance should be away to the right, I believe. But this is indeed a Nordic temple.
Over here! We're almost to the exit.
Okay.
Quick, hide! Look up on the bridge!
Let's hide.
As you'll see, the storm's effects will be quite devastating.
As long as everything is ready for the first harvest of Gaia, I will be pleased.
That doesn't sound good.
Very curious. Let's talk for a moment. That was Urgala, leader of this branch of the Ice Reach Coven. She's the witch who locked us in the barrow. The others take their orders from her.
Who's she talking to?
I'm not sure, but I believe he's one of my kind. They mentioned a devastating storm. We need to find out exactly what they have planned. My apologies, but we're going to have to postpone our escape.
So you want to follow these two?
We'll make an investigator out of you yet. I need to figure out how those stolen remains, the Ice Reach Coven, and that vampire are connected. Let's catch up to Urgala and her guest, and see what we can find out.
Indeed. Jesus, we're almost kissing in that cutscene. Goodness me. Further into the barrow we go then, my friend, and there's some more weapons and armors for us to grab if you want along the way. Let's go into Deepwood Redoubt.
We should be able to catch up with Matron Urgala through here.
Alright, let's have a look on the map. So we have quite a way to go around this corner here. Let's yeet this guy. Die! A Harrow Fiend. You guys can customize the UI, by the way, and turn off how much damage you're doing. I just kind of like to see, you know, especially when you get to late game, it's actually useful to see when you critical hit and how much damage you're doing, healing, and so on. It's just interesting. And there is a nice helmet here. But we already have a much cooler Skyrim-looking Dovahkiin helmet, so we're going to keep that. In fact, guys, I have the OG Dragonborn costume, my friends, as you can see. So now we can actually run around as the Dragonborn. Obviously, it's not very fitting because he's got a destruction staff, but hey, I don't care. I will enjoy my cosplay. Get Rex up, you silly witch.
Witches and their servants are everywhere. We could sneak through if you wish to avoid more battles.
No, we must kill them all for the experience farm. There are much faster ways to farm experience, by the way, guys, than killing these troops. But hey, this is funner. Why would I sneak when I can absolutely yeet in all these Harrow Fiend zombie creatures? A poor rat. Oh, a nice stew. Carrot soup. So if you guys have a look, you're going to find as you adventure around the game different foods that essentially give your character a massive buff for like half an hour or so. You can make these yourself as well, or you can buy them from the guild store, and some of them are better than others, obviously. But this is going to increase my stamina by 7,000 for 35 minutes. Now, obviously, it's not very useful to me because I'm a mage, but hey, I'm a hungry boy and I've been trapped in prison, so for roleplay reasons, we just have to eat it. It looks like there's a lot of urns here, though. I wonder what they've been digging up.
It stinks of dead Nords.
And here's someone talking. Ice Reach Brute. So you can still sneak attack people even with a staff in this game. Good luck blocking my attacks, you fool. Now, obviously, some classes do more damage with their sneak attacks than others, depending on what you're investing in. Right, so we've got to go down here, take out this Harrow Fiend at distance. Kill him, scamp! Yes. Let's go into the next area. Deepwood Crossing. So it looks like we're heading to the top of Deepwood Redoubt. This is the bridge we saw those NPCs cross earlier on. Such a beautiful cave, though.
They should be just up ahead. Hurry!
He's like walking in slow motion. Such a beautiful cave, though. I mean, I love what they've done here. Just appreciating the architecture, my friend, before we carry on. Now, you are going to find bookshelves on your travels. Some of these will give you lore books, which increase your mage guild rank, which I'll talk about more later. And others will give you skill book increases. So it's always good at the start of the game just to read tons of bookshelves because they'll give you skill points.
The sky! What have they done? We must reach that clearing!
Jesus, what is that? A storm. This place looks amazing, though. Alright, we're going to have to fight our way through these Harrow Fiends, though. This is the first like mage class I've really sort of invested my time into, and it's going to be mainly a PvP class, but I will be showing you how to spec them for PvE as well, depending what you guys are into. PvP means player versus player, and PvE means player versus environment. So essentially dungeon content. Destruction staff increased to level 3. Fantastic. I know how to change perspectives game, but thanks for telling me. So you can just spam the light attack button, you do lots of damage. Very nice. Get wrecked, Ice Reach brutes. We can block that power attack, but anyway, we are fine. Let's go through the main entrance. I'm not scared of you silly sorcerers. Ooh, what have you got? 4 gold. Very nice. We are now rich, my friends. Oh, hello. Ice Reach Charger. So she's doing an attack, but we can just step back. At this point in the game, like, I mean, you can ignore all of the power attacks and whatnot. What did you say, buddy?
You'd think with all the truly bizarre events of my life, not much would unnerve me. Yet an enormous arcane storm roiling in the sky still manages to do the trick. If we hurry, we can find the source.
Indeed. Look at that thing. It's huge. Terrifying storm indeed. I assume it is coming from the top of this building, so let's hurry up and get to the top. So obviously just ignore the red areas on the ground. The game is basically telling you not to stand inside, otherwise you will take lots of damage. It wrecks up. So guys, let me know in the comment section, by the way.
Door up ahead. Looks like the way up to the clearing.
It does, just like in the original Skyrim game, in fact. Let's take out this guy before we go on. Let me know in the comment section, guys, if you actually played the Elder Scrolls Online before and you're watching this, or if you're completely new and you're enjoying all these tutorial tips. Let me know, because I can always change, like, you know, what we talk about as we go through this Let's Play to make it as useful as possible for you guys to watch. Oh, we can even pick up a bow here. I think that's the first bow I've actually seen so far. That Harrow Storm is getting bigger and bigger, but my god, look at this view, man. It looks very pretty. Very pretty indeed. Deep Wood Temple. I'm sure there's going to be a few sexy hag ravens in here. I'm very excited. Let's read these bookshelves. You see, there we go. We got another law book. Very useful indeed. It wrecks up. Now, the game doesn't actually have difficulties, in case you didn't know that. So I'm just running around killing these guys. It does have difficulties in terms of the dungeons, though. Looks like they have some bloods here, and they're doing some experiments. Maybe the Harrow spawns were failed experiments, who knows? So you can also pick up some food from here as well, which is going to give us other benefits. So for example, this increases our stamina, this increases our max health, and this increases our max health as well. So it just makes us more tanky. And you can also find things that increase your max magicka too. Alright, it looks like this is taking us up to the top. If you guys have been to Deep Wood Redoubt recently in Skyrim, you'll recognise a lot of this dungeon. The layout is very similar. I really like the effort that they've put into trying to recreate it to the extent that they have. Alright, it looks like we're going down this corridor, across this bridge here. Let's see what we find. Kind of like a hazy blue on the screen, which is interesting. We must be getting closer to the eye of the storm. Oh, hello. Oh, it's another player. A level 2 player. Hello there. Another noob. Very nice. Now, obviously, because this DLC has just come out, we're going to be seeing tons of other players from here onwards, I'm pretty sure. Maybe he can help us with the upcoming dungeon. Who knows? Oh, it's a skeever. Don't worry, buddy. I'll save you. There you go. Deepwood Temple Pinnacle. We've reached the top.
The Harrow Storm ritual is a thing of beauty, Urgala. I'll be in touch after the harvest.
So he's run away and turned into a swarm of bats.
Kill Urgala! Maybe that will stop the storm from growing.
You escaped. No matter, for soon all of Skyrim will fall!
I am Scottish, and my northern
Your efforts
accent
mean
will
nothing.
defeat you.
The harvest will succeed.
I don't think so. Or if it does, you won't be here to witness it.
The storm! Somehow that pike is involved! Destroy it, quickly!
Let me just loot her. Oh, we've got an amulet. Solitude Locket. Increase maximum health by 880. Fantastic. Alright, we've got to destroy this pillar. This pillar here. Oh, it has health. Okay. Attack it! It almost looks like it's alive.
You did it. The storm's dissipated. I wish we could have learned more before we killed Matron Urgala.
I'm sorry.
I still don't understand what the Coven has planned. And it's the not knowing that worries me.
We learned that the Icereach Coven created a storm ritual for that vampire. That's something, right?
That's true. And we stopped that storm. My investigations have led to even darker corners, but progress has been made. Here, consider this a stipend from Ravenwatch. For your valuable assistance, of course. Now let's get out of here.
So you're going to get a skill point and some traveler's luggage. Now this, like doing the main quest in most of the DLCs, like Elsewhere, Somerset, or the base game, they always give you lots of skill points and experience. So it's a good way to level up new characters and just enjoy the game in general.
The Icereach Coven's presence in western Skyrim concerns me. But we need to keep moving. The path down is through those doors. Outside, I'll point you towards Solitude. Go to the city and warn them. Whatever the Coven has planned, it didn't end here.
Alright, so we get to go to Solitude. Fantastic. But you're not coming with me.
Not right now. Other members of the Ravenwatch came here ahead of me. They'll be interested in the vampire we saw, and I need to get word to them. Besides, I want to follow the trail while it's fresh. So it only makes sense that you warn Solitude.
So where's Solitude?
We're in the hold of Hofengar in western Skyrim. Solitude is its capital city, and the seat of High King Svargrim. If we can find any help against the Coven, it will be there. Head to Solitude and let the authorities know what happened here.
Now, just so you guys know, the Elder Scrolls Online is based hundreds of years before the events that took place in Skyrim. So many of these names you're not going to recognize, but the locations you will recognize, just like Deepwood Redoubt, they still very much exist, but are clearly being used for different purposes right now. Alright, I'll go to Solitude and I'll warn them about... the Icereach Coven.
The Nords don't tolerate Reachmen in their territory. Once you warn the gods, I'm sure High King Svargrim will dispatch his troops. The Coven's threat is as good as done. But just in case, I'll tell my fellow Ravenwatch what happened here.
The urns from Bankarai, you mentioned earlier. What's so special about them?
As I said, my investigation began in an ancient burial site in Bankarai. Drogakin were using similar urns, filling them with remains. Most disturbing, the ash and bones belong to a dark army that once roamed the land. The Grey Host.
The cool thing is that you can actually go to Bankarai and investigate this yourself if you kind of want even more to that backstory. Why were the urns here then?
I have no idea. When I stumbled into this nest of Coven witches, I never expected to find a connection to the Drogakin and the burial urns. And that vampire we saw. There's something more at play than we know. We need to find out what.
Alright then. Let's do that. And we have leveled up once again. Look at me, I'm a true Nord warrior with Nordic. So let's claim our rewards. We get 1 attribute point, a skill point, and also a crown fortifying meal. Now you can buy these meals for in-game money in the crown store, like and potions as well, but you can actually craft much better stuff. So never spend your money on food, potions, or any of that stuff. So let's invest another point into Magicka for more damage. And then obviously we've already got 1 point in Daedric Summoning. So now we want to invest in another skill line. I'm going to get Crystal Shard ability from the Dark Magic skill line. I'm going to put that on number 3 actually. And we have one more skill point to use, and I'm going to get the Mage's Fury ability. And I'm going to put this on number 4 like that. These are just the buttons I press and is where I prefer them. So if you guys didn't know, so Crystal Shard right now is essentially just a damage nuke. So it does 4k damage, but it's got a bit of a wind up before you can cast it. Mage's Fury, basically if you use it on an enemy 4 seconds before they get to 20% health, it basically nukes them for a bunch of damage that, you know, usually does extra damage and executes them, I believe. Otherwise, it just has, you know, like a base instant damage sort of cast to it, which is really nice. Let's take a look at this view. God damn, this is beautiful, man. Deepwood Redoubt. What an amazing location. So, as you can see, this is Western Skyrim. There's also an underground section, by the way. And we're currently here in Deepwood Redoubt. And now we need to go ahead and leave and make our way over to Solitude, which is just here, obviously. And it's a big city. But if you guys click the top right area here, you can see this is the Blackreach area of the map, which is like underground Skyrim. And if you guys haven't seen this, this is Tamriel, Cold Harbor, Clockwork City, Artaeum. Tamriel has lots of different provinces. As you can see, East March, the Rift, which is where Riften is. And then we are in Western Skyrim, which is this new part of the Greymoor DLC that's been added to the game. And they're going to add the southern side, I'm sure, in the future as well. Rather conveniently, the exit to Deepwood Redoubt is just over here, at the end of the dungeon, essentially, or the end of the tutorial area. That's definitely one of, it's probably the best tutorial I've actually played in the Elder Scrolls Online, so I'm like really impressed with the start of this DLC so far. In fact, I'd encourage you to like make a new character and play for it yourself.
Ah, this way, my friend.
I'm coming. Oh, I'm stuck on a rock there. Oh, mate. I see what they've done here.
Road ahead will take you straight to Solitude.
Okay.
Go. Warn Solitude of the danger. I need to make contact with the Raven Watch.
Very well.
Once again, thank you for assisting me. Without you, I'd still be locked away. And who knows what damage that Hero Storm would have caused. Follow this road east, and you should reach Solitude in short order. Until we meet again, fare you well.
Thank you very much. Alright, so now we can head down the hill here. And can you guys see what they've done here? Essentially, they've actually made kind of like the opening starting area a little bit after you've done the prologue from the original Skyrim. It's like you get this huge open world in front of you that you just want to explore, and I'm sure there's loads of quests around. In fact, there is a merchant here, and we can sell her some of the stuff that we don't need, though most of it is actually worth 0 gold, so we can deconstruct that if we like. I'm going to sell her that for now. And this is a way shrine, so we can use this way shrine just here to fast travel to the way shrine just outside of Solitude over here to cut that journey in half, or you can walk there, it's up to you. But guys, I'm going to be ending today's episode here, so thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give the video a like and just write a random comment below, because it really does help out the channel and like the viewership and the YouTube algorithm essentially. So I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to link the next episode down below in the description. They're going to be daily episodes and tips and tricks guides as we continue on through the Greymoor chapter. So I really hope you guys found this helpful. If you're new, if your friends are looking to get into the game, maybe link them to it as well, just so they can have a few starter tips to go through. And again, if you want to actually buy the game for yourself, it's linked down below in the description. That's a good way to support the developers of the game. But guys, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for your support, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day and goodbye.